Gentlelady reserves. The gentleman from Kentucky is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield all of our remaining time to the great gentleman from Ohio, the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Mr. Jordan.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. Americans want safer streets, affordable gas, and freedom. Instead, Democrats give us record crime levels, record inflation, and another bill attacking President Trump, sponsored by the guy who spent years misleading the Congress and, more importantly, the country on Trump-Russia investigation, on Mueller investigation.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Congress Every Day. Today we're diving into a fiery speech from Jim Jordan that has been making waves in the political world. In this video, we'll break down his critique of Adam Schiff, the current state of politics, and why he believes Democrats are focusing on the wrong issues at the wrong time. Stick around because things are getting heated. Let's get right into it. Jim Jordan begins his speech by thanking his colleague from Kentucky for yielding him some time to speak. It's a formal gesture, but what follows is anything but formal. Jordan wastes no time launching
investigation on impeachment. Remember when the sponsor of the bill said that his office didn't meet with the whistleblower? Found out that wasn't true. Remember when the sponsor of the bill told us that we would hear from the whistleblower during impeachment? We'd actually have real process instead of having hearings and depositions in the basement, in the bunker of the Capitol. Remember when the sponsor told us this? That there was more than circumstantial evidence that President Trump colluded with Russia?
I'm launching into a fiery critique of the current state of affairs. He calls out Democrats for pushing bills that attack President Trump, rather than tackling the issues that are really hurting everyday Americans: crime, inflation, and rising energy costs. Jordan's frustration is clear. He's asking why the focus isn't on the issues people actually care about. If you're feeling the squeeze at the pump or noticing the crime in your neighborhood, you're not alone. Let me know in the comments what issues you think Congress should be focusing on right now. Next up, Jordan turns his attention to Adam Schiff. He accuses Schiff of misleading Congress and the American public during the Trump-Russia investigation and impeachment.
That turned out to be false. Bob Mueller said it was false. Everyone knew it was false. In fact, it was such baloney, even the Washington Post has had to retract and change things from stories because they said, oh, yeah, there was a lot of false information in that dossier that they used to go spy on President Trump's campaign. And I think this is important to understand. Sponsored this legislation wasn't just any member of Congress, Mr. Speaker. He wasn't just any chairman of a committee in Congress. He was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, the committee that gets additional information from
and
anyone
impeachment hearings. Jordan's point? Schiff was in a position to know better. He was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee after all. Now, when someone with that kind of power is spreading misinformation, it's a problem. Jordan calls out specific false claims made by Schiff about the whistleblower and the so-called evidence of Trump colluding with Russia. This is some serious back and forth that goes all the way to the core of how the public was misled. Do you think Schiff misled the public? Drop your thoughts below. Jordan brings up the claim that there was evidence of Trump colluding with Russia, something Schiff and other Democrats heavily promoted. We all remember those headlines. The truth, according to Robert Mueller's report,
anyone else in the country making those claims that were not accurate. So maybe instead of having another bill that attacks President Trump because Democrats are afraid he's going to run and he's going to win in 2024, so they want to do everything they can to attack him, maybe instead of another bill attacking President Trump, we should actually focus on things that the American people care about. You know, you can attack President Trump all you want. I know one thing. A year ago, the border was secure. Sure was. A year ago, cities were safe. Safer than they are today. A year ago, we didn't have a 31-year high inflation. We actually had wages going up, real wages. A year ago,
report and subsequent retractions from major media outlets, those claims were false. It's important to note here, this was a story pushed for years, and yet the very same outlets now admit they got it wrong. So what does that tell us about the trustworthiness of some of these political narratives? Does it matter to you? Let me know in the comments below. Jordan goes on to argue that Democrats' obsession with attacking Trump is distracting from the real issues affecting Americans. According to him, the
A year ago, we didn't have a Department of Justice attacking moms and dads, putting a label, a designation, a threat tag on parents who simply go to school board meetings and speak out against a racist, hate America curriculum. No, we didn't have that a year ago. But you guys can keep attacking the president all you want, not addressing the issues that the American people care about. We're going to speak about the issues they care about. We're going to try to do everything we can to slow down your crazy.
The 2024 election fears are fueling this. He believes that instead of attacking Trump, lawmakers should be addressing the real crises like border security, crime rates, inflation, and wages. And let's not forget, gas prices are through the roof. Jordan's criticism seems to be that while the Democrats have their eye on Trump, they've completely missed what the people want: solutions to everyday problems. So, how are you feeling about this? Let me know in the comments if you think this focus on Trump is overshadowing real issues. Lastly, Jordan slams the Department of Justice for allegedly targeting parents who simply speak out against policies at school board meetings. He points out that a year ago the country was more secure, both at the border and in the streets, and yet now we see an overreach from federal agencies. Whether you agree with Jordan's perspective or not, this is a huge issue. The government potentially labeling parents as threats for standing up for their kids is a line that many are saying should not be crossed. What do you think about this? Drop your comments below. So there you have it, Jim Jordan's passionate defense of Trump, his frustration with the Democratic agenda, and his concerns about the current direction of the country. It's clear he feels strongly that the focus needs to shift to issues that affect regular Americans and not just political games. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future updates. We'll be back with more breaking news and analysis soon. Thanks for watching.